Hello everyone, good evening. I am going to show you how I make a home-based pizza. I hope you enjoyed my recipe, and I will start with the yeast and then we'll go from there. So when you get your yeast together, you get half a cup of warm water, not boiling water, just warm water. And then you use 2 spoons of yeast and just a pinch of sugar to add to it, and then you just mix it up. And what you do, you leave it for the yeast to grow, because the yeast... Alright, now we're going to start putting the flour in. Now this recipe takes 6 cups of flour, so I'm using my container that I can hold up to 2 kilos inside. 2 cups inside. I need 6 cups altogether, and we're just going to sift it just on here, and I'm just going to do it slowly one by one. It's 2 cups, so we're just going to do 2 cups at a time. Now after we sifted all the flour, I'm just going to put about 60 grams of olive oil and a teaspoon of salt. I like to use kosher salt, but you can use any salt you feel. And afterwards, you look at your yeast, make sure it's bubbly like mine is. My yeast is now bubbly, and I'm just going to add it on to the rest of the ingredients. Now, once it's all together, I like to wash my hands so it's all combined together, just like this. And then I'll show you what it looks like once I'm combining it. Now the whole idea is just to combine it. If you still feel that it's very dry like this and needs more, I would just add a little bit of water at a time, maybe about a quarter of a cup. Just slowly add it in till it's all combined into one dough. So you see, as I'm going, I'm just adding a little bit of water, and I'm continuing putting it all together as I go. And then I add a little bit more water to it, and I continue doing the dough till it's all combined. When you get it to a bowl, you want to squeeze it as much as you can, and as much air out as much as you can. If you need to, add some little bit more flour just to make it not so sticky. But I normally just fold it inside and just roll it into each other. To get out the air from the dough, I try to pull it and push it inside. Just pull the edges and pull it inside. Just all the edges all over, and just pull it inside. And then that's how we knead it, till it all combines really well. I know it's a lot of work. It's good. Take out your anger from the whole frustration of the week, and just good workout altogether. Alright, now that we finish making our bowl, I like to put olive oil all around the container and just make sure so it would stop it from sticking. And olive oil smells nice, better than normal oil. And just put in the dough. Make sure it's rounded nicely, easier to work with. See, and there's olive oil all over it now. And then we're just gonna cover it. I like to use a towel just to keep out all the sun and just let it grow. I leave it on here for 2 hours, and then I'll show you once it's I'll let it grow, and I'll show you looks like afterwards. Now while the dough is getting raised and I have time for it, I'm going to cut some pumpkin for the pizza that I'm making tonight. Now it's going to be only maybe 1 centimeter apart, not very thick, because you want to add it on to the base of the pizza. Now after you cut the pumpkins into little squares, I like to put some salt on it and a little bit of olive oil. Now the squares doesn't have to be even, as long as they're spread out, and then you leave it to cook for, I say, 15 minutes, and then if it's not soft, maybe cook it for another 10 minutes and just till it becomes soft. Now that our dough has grown twice as big, we take it out, because this is the part that we need to break it into pieces. So what I do is I take a bit of the flour, put it over your hands, and just break up the dough to about handful size. Try to make them even as much as you can, and then what I do is I take the dough. If you need more flour, you can use more flour, and what you do is you stretch it as much as you can, and then just put it into itself, and just keep that going till you have a ball. The idea is to take out as much air out as you can, so it can keep growing even bigger. Now when you created those bowls, I made 10 bowls here, I will add some olive oil. So I put some on my hand, and I'm just going to brush it all over the bowls themselves. Once we put the olive oil on, I will cover this for another hour and let it rise up a bit more, and then I'll show you once I'm done. Alright, now that the bowls has risen, and you can see they got twice as big again, we're just going to grab one by one. And what I have here is my pizza maker thing, and then what I do, I just stretch it to the size I want to make the pizza, and once it's stretched, I just go to each edge, try not to tear it like I do. I try to tear it. If you think it's too small, you can combine two of the balls together, try to make it bigger, but I'll show you once I'm done. So I end up using 2 bowls to do this, but once you get it even, I just poke some with a fork to get some air in so it doesn't burn, and then I cook this for 7 minutes just in my my convection oven, and then I'll show you what it looks after. So while the base is cooking, I'm just going to show you how to do the tomato base. So this is going to go on to the sauce is going to go on to the thing. So I'm using tomato paste, and now with tomato paste I have to add a tiny bit of water, maybe less than a spoonful, and just mix it up as you go, just so you can add on to the paste. Now with the paste, I add on garlic or some little bit of salt, maybe some Italian herb, just to make the paste a bit better, and just combine them all together so we can put it on once we're done. Once our base is semi done, doesn't have to be fully cooked, just want to make sure it's about half cooked. We add on the tomato base onto it. You can just spread it as much as you need, just so it can be even all over. And then afterwards you just add whatever vegetables or meat or whatever you like to it. And I'll show you once I'm done with this part. Alright, now I added the pumpkin and some mushrooms and some mozzarella cheese to the topping, and I'm going to cook this for another 2 more minutes, and then it should be done by then. Now just to show you, this is after I make the pizza, how it looks like, and that's when it's done. Okay, so you guys will have a nice weekend. Have a nice week. Just enjoy yourselves. Have fun. And I'll see you next time. Bon appetit.